I actually found that on our family shelves we actually had a copy of this, so I decided to read it in conjunction with the audiobook, and doing both together helps me focus on it more. And this cover is so trippy. I have no idea where we got it. I've just been reading it with the naked hardback, which is also very nice and plain, and very fitting to the Assassin's Guild, which is what this book is about. And if you've never read or know anything about the Discworld series, it is a series of around, I think, over 40 books, started in the 80s, and is probably one of the most popular fantasy book series of all times, but it's definitely fantasy humor and satire. I'm going through the whole series by publication order. Really fun to start from the beginning and then read my favorite books. And Death is my favorite character of all time. I think he just had a cameo in this book, but it's probably still going to remain my favorite part. I'm really glad that I picked this up again, because I was just going to pass it on, but I'm really glad that I gave it another try. It is such kismet, because this is volume 2. I did the first volume in high school. It looks at personality traits of animals and how we should emulate those, what we can learn from traits exhibited by animals. And it is beautiful, and the illustrations are just incredible. Published in the 1970s. Some of them full page, like look at this. This is amazing. And it is relayed back to the Bible and Christian scripture, and how we can find these sort of personality traits within the Bible. Right now we are learning about the pheasant, and it's very interesting because you learn, it's got, straight up like biology facts in it, and you just learn about like different facts about the animals, but then it relates it back to, where has the pheasant been mentioned in scripture, where migration patterns, where was it first found. So I'm so happy. Like, look at this. Look how well made and how well crafted this is. And also, this would be like a hefty weapon. If I chucked this at somebody, boy, they better watch out. So this is quite a find. I heard about this book on another channel. I'll have it down below. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. But it's run by a lovely Dutch lady who has wonderful taste in children's book and a lot of other like classics and a whole lot of other variety of different kinds of books. And so she featured this on her channel, and I knew I had to read it right away. I've really been in the mood for fairy tales and fantasy lately, so this is a go-to. It's Nordic tales, which, European tales of like Germany and stuff, England, Grimm fairy tales. I know a lot of that, but I have hardly know any fairy tales from the countries of Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, and Denmark. So this has just been a whole new treasure trove for me, and this is just such a well-made book. First of all, it's got like raised images so you can feel the shapes. It's got some northern lights going on here or something similar. Like almost cardstock like pages, and pages are beautiful. You know the drill, you know what makes a book pretty. These feel fresh but still very akin to what we would expect from very old fairy tales. And I think my favorite one has been so far Hilda, the Queen of Elves, because the story structure is very unique. At least to me. I have read this one, East of the Sun and West of the Moon. That's like one of the most popular Nordic fairy tales, I think. So well done, Chronicle books. You really outdid yourselves with this. Hidden Magic by Vivian Vande Velde, or Vande Velde, not quite sure how to pronounce that. Mostly got this for the cover. The illustrations are amazing, very beautiful. The illustrator is Trina Schartheimen. So I definitely got this for the art. Historical account of President Lincoln and two of his 4 sons. This is done by one of my favorite illustrators, P.J. Lynch. Every time I read a work by him, absolutely amazed. I love this picture because it shows him in the White House, but he's still very much a dad. It says that there's some heartbreak, so I'm kind of scared to read this, but I think it'll be really educational and really just gorgeous. PJ Lynch is just a master artist, and look how much like life he brings, and really just making him more not as sort of an awe-inspiring figure. Historical famous figures were just people, first and foremost. And I think the history books don't make it seem that way, and our culture and society doesn't make it seem that way. So I would really like to get a feel for more of who these people were in their inner circles.